Well, yesterday we had our good friend Christian Harloff here on the show, and Christian Harloff stopped the presses out of nowhere. He just dropped this thing that made Jonathan and I go, wait, what? Yeah. When he casually just dropped that HBO was going to be taking the upcoming Lantern series and just drop it all at once instead of HBO's traditional way of doing things, which is week by week. And I had to stop Christian. I'm like, wait. I have not heard this. And he said, yeah, I've been reading this stuff about it. And then it was like, well, that makes no sense. HBO has never done that. This makes no sense. And then by the end of the show, he said, it was announced at the panel at Comic-Con, at the Lanterns panel at Comic-Con. And you know what? He's not wrong. I went back and I watched the video footage, and sure enough, at the very end of the panel of Comic-Con, of Lanterns, the moderator, there's the moderator there. The moderator said, as they were wrapping everything up and saying goodbye to everybody, and I think the date is August 16th. I think that's the date. Anyway.
Yeah.
He said, remember, ladies and gentlemen, all episodes of Lanterns debuting on August 16th on HBO Max. Good night, everybody. Right? That's what he said. So as a result of him saying that, Screen Rant, which is a site I don't like to reference very often, but Screen Rant ran this story, understandably, and in their report they said HBO Max is going to be dropping all the episodes of Lanterns at once on August 16th. And it was not unreasonable for them to do that because, technically speaking, that is what the moderator at the panel said. However, we can now report that they are not doing that. Lanterns will be reported or will be released on a week-to-week basis. Screen Rant ran a retraction. And by the way, full credit to Screen Rant for putting in a correction on their article. Not everybody does this. I'm glad to see they did. They wrote, editor's note on the article in question. This article incorrectly stated that all 8 episodes of Lanterns would drop at August 16th. This has since been corrected. So clearly what happened here is probably somebody at Warner Brothers got in touch with Screen Rant and said, you're telling the world that we're dropping everything at once. We're not. And so they printed a retraction for it. I think what obviously happened, guys, at least to me, it's obvious. The moderator just misspoke. That's all it was. It was at the very, very end as they're saying goodnight to everybody. And I think he just misspoke. Again, no fault on Screen Rant for running with it as a story because that is what the moderator said. But clearly he misspoke. So, Rob, this brings up the question that we got into a little bit yesterday about should HBO Max drop Lanterns all at once? And you know my philosophy on this. My philosophy is very clearly no. It is not a matter of opinion. It is statistically and data been verified that good shows will perform much better over time if they were released weekly in weekly installments rather than dropping them all at once. They simply don't perform as well. There are some shows that have done that and done very, very well, but the data on the ones that go week to week have shown they just perform better. And as a fan, I really like week to week releases because it means we get to talk about them every week and everybody's at the same spot. Because here's the thing, they drop Punisher season 2 all at once on Netflix, and you can never talk about it because you never know, are my friends 3 episodes in? Are they 5 episodes in? We can't talk. And nobody's talking about Deadpool season 2 anymore a week after it releases. Whereas something like WandaVision showed that, oh my God, for 2 months straight on this show, all anybody talked about every single day was WandaVision because new episodes dropped every week. Now, Rob, HBO has never done that. They have never, at least to the best of my knowledge, they have never dropped all episodes at once, as far as I know. And by the way, I just want to point out, somebody in the live chat is saying, wrong again, Christian. Christian wasn't wrong. He just said what was in that report. That
And
is
literally
what was
said
reported.
on stage.
Yeah, it was literally said on stage at Comic-Con, and Screen Rant did run a story that said that. So Christian wasn't wrong. Christian was accurate in saying what he saw reported. It's just that that's now been corrected. So anyway, Rob, would this be something worth trying if you're HBO to drop all the episodes at once? Do you think they're making the right decision by going week to week? What do you think?
I think that it would be foolish if they dropped all the episodes at once. First of all, you can just tell from the trailers, and I was very, very excited. I mean, the Lantern series is doing a very deep dive into DC lore. The idea that they've added the Manhunters that were originally created by Jack Kirby, they were the first iteration.
Okay, I want to know, when you were watching that trailer and they said, what does the word Manhunters mean to you? Did you freak out? Like, I'm like, wait, what?
I freaked out because in DC history, there's the Walt Simonson Manhunter character who's like a ninja, but the Manhunters were created by the Guardians of Oa as their first police force before the living. There was even the Manhunters even replaced one of the gods on Mount Olympus at one point in the DC universe. So when I heard that, I'm like, wow, this is and then Sinestro or whatever. I mean, I love this. I love that the Manhunters are involved. I mean, people talked about it never, though, this whole, I've loved what I've seen of this show from the very beginning. And it's really weird that everybody was like hating on this show early, because I'm like, there's no way they can't have some cosmic connection. When I was reading Green Lantern comics as a kid, because I always loved Green Lantern, both the Green Lanterns, Alan Scott and the Justice Society, and Hal Jordan before they added, then there was, of course, John Stewart and Kyle Rayner and Guy Gardner. But I was a huge fan of the earthbound antics of Green Lantern and then the cosmic nature of the Guardians of Oa. So the idea that there is some extraterrestrial evil foothold on the United States or on Earth, I think is a great idea to introduce our cosmic characters. You know, because it looks grounded, it looks HBO-like, it looks they're going after that True Detective vibe. But then to find out that the connection is Manhunters and Sinestro and all that, bring that on, son. But because of that as well, there's a mystery element. There's these things. That's the perfect HBO premise. Like, we're gonna give this out to you, and we're gonna let you enter this world like in True Detective. That's what they've always said since the very beginning. And we're gonna meet these two guys, and the idea that one's being trained to become a Green Lantern, like, you don't want to give it all up right away. Yeah. It's an HBO show. It's for adults. You know, it's not for us just fanboys. And I've always thought the look of the show was great. And this last trailer, John, was a banger. I'm like, this is
so good.
If somebody asked me to make a Green Lantern show, it would be pretty close, even though, to be fair, it's Damon Lindelof. So take that with a grain of salt. But it looks like the kind of Green Lantern show that I would make. And I'm like, when does everybody retroactively suddenly go, oh, I want that cosmic Green Lantern feel? I'm like, I've been reading Green Lantern comics for over 50 years. And yeah, I like all of it. So to me, it looks like exactly the kind of Green Lantern show. But there's no way HBO has never dropped a series like this. And this is a prestige series. They're not going to drop it all at once. That's not what HBO has ever done, ever. And we're smart enough to know that. Christian took it at face value. What can you do? They said it. You figure the moderator knows of what they speak.
Well, especially when then you read the report on Screen Rant, you read the report on Screen saying they announced at Hall H or at Comic-Con that it was going to be all dropping at once. Yeah. And I get it. I get it. If you just had nothing but that last little sound clip as they were saying goodbye, that is what he said. But yeah, obviously it was just somebody misspoke. By the way, I already talked about it yesterday, but just to talk about it again. Holy shit, that Lanterns trailer was so good.
I love
that. That was so good. I love that trailer so much. I cannot wait to watch it. Anyway, guys, question is for you. We now know that the Lantern series is indeed only going to be dropping weekly. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll drop 2 episodes to start and then go after. I don't know. But basically speaking, they're not dropping the entire series at once. That's now been confirmed. What do you guys think about that? Whatever you think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.